So I'll just, something a little different. So I noticed as part of your biography that you're also a trained artist. Can you speak about that?
Well, I'm a failed artist, so I had got my undergraduate in physics, and then as my PhD advisor, Gerard het Hoofd, the Nobel Prize winner, said, you know, Robert went to physics, get bored, went to art school, got even more bored, and went back. But actually, there's a little anecdote which I think for me was useful, because I usually make the case that actually just spent 2 years in art school, that I learned how to do research in art school. Because, you know, when I was a teenager, I was the kind of the character, and perhaps many of you it's similar, you know, got to discovered the whole field of science and would take books and read and, you know, do the calculations myself and make drawings and everything, and then went to college, and then of course you do the standard courses, and I had very good grades, but I was basically just focused on getting good grades and passing the test, and I kind of lost interest in the field. And started painting. Then I went to art school. I was very serious about that. I think that's my career. But when in art school, I certainly felt liberated. I still remember the moment I walked into the bookstore and felt, now I can buy a physics book again. So I bought physics books, started reading it. So it was like, okay, just this is for fun. And then I felt, wait a moment, there's something there. But the nice thing in art school is that, you know, success was not passing a test. Success was at the end of the week, if you had a big stack of sketches and materials, if you have just explored. And so I made kind of a deal with myself. I go back into physics, because it was my first law. But I will try to conserve or preserve that approach of the artist. That is to say, at the end of the week, I wanted a big stack, not of sketches, but of calculations. And just, you know, for fun, you might, you know, tell my students always, you just if you learn something, try to derive it yourself. Find a way to kind of internalize the result. Do some crazy calculation. The thing I liked best in art school was that you were forced to do things that you didn't like. You know, I liked to paint, and I certainly have to do photography or printing. Actually, it was fun. It was liberating. So, in some sense, for me, spending these 2 years in art was a shortcut to a research career. And so I think that might be a lesson again, that we are not always putting the right emphasis also in the way in which we educate generations. I think particularly in the sciences, because now in fields like math and physics and computer science, it's so easy to devise a perfect test because it's so clear what the right and the wrong answers are. So we focus a lot about the right and wrong answers. I think we should focus more on the right and the wrong questions.